Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show. Baby, we get through these dumps, baby. Let's go. man, didn't know I was going to have to wear my red suit twice in the last 2 weeks, but man, they got us pounded to the downside for sure. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Pocket square matches the inside of the coat. I thought it was pretty cool. Came with the jacket, one of those. Shout out to all my beautiful people. God bless you all. Thank you for jumping on in with the Crypto Lifer. 104,000 looks like it's about to dump again. That was just a little sideways pump to pull you in. I see more downside. Looks like 96K is undoubtedly coming here. Bookmap calling it out too, saying there's a bunch of liquidity down at 97,300. People think they caught the bottom yet again, but they're going to create liquidity. Just like when they short, they create the liquidity to the upside. When they long, they create the liquidity to the downside. So if you're my trading group, yesterday morning, I talked about opening up a head short on BTC. We went over it in depth. Let me show you kind of what I was talking about. It was a video update. So it was in depth, but it was yesterday at about 8 in the morning. And we're working hard in the Discord. If your Discord has dropped off, if you're, the person you're watching is getting wrecked and rocked every 5 seconds, come on over to the Discord. But yesterday at 8 in the morning, you can see the first thing I'm talking about here is opening up a head short for Bitcoin and saying that's the most likely scenario at 107.7. All right. You would have been so paid had you entered that trade. No stop loss got hit in the making of that trade. Let's kind of talk about where it went, how far down it was going. Wow, look at this. I looked at this last night. It looked like it could break out. FIRO, and it did. It went from 153 all the way up to 211. The only coin I was looking at last night, so weird. I didn't even give it to the group because, the market looks so sketchy. But then all coins are still pumping. This FIRO looks like it could go all the way up to 315. I don't know. I don't really remember what it is. I think I traded it in the last rally. But strange. Look at this thing on the daily. Just absolutely mooning. I looked at it last. I didn't even give it to anybody. So no one, I'm pretty sure I didn't put it out. So it's not like I had nothing to do with it. It's so strange. So some altcoins are actually up on the morning. So weird. We have this Origin all the way up to the 200 moving average. Dusk made a bit of a pump. Republic Protocol, Ren. Interesting. Zephyr, remember Zephyr? It bounced off the 200 here on the daily. So that's weird, right? It's like, so Bitcoin collapsing. Altcoins, some of the altcoins actually not doing too bad, right? Beam up 60%. So look at some bounce on the altcoins, which is kind of strange. I didn't expect to see that so early. Let's take a look at another list. I got two lists. I just want to see different groups of charts here. Yeah, ICP up 40%. Like what? So it seems like maybe people sold out of Bitcoin and went into altcoins. It's kind of strange. I don't know what's happening here. A bit odd. The last thing I thought to show you that we were going to show altcoins pumping this morning. Pretty awkward. Let's take a look here at the bubbles. And we got a little bit of green here. A little bit of bounce back for the altcoins. For whatever reason, it's interesting, right? It's almost, yeah. And we're going to take a look at Bitcoin dominance. We're going to look at total. And of course, we're going to look at the big beast in the game, BTC. SEI looks like it's going to continue somewhere down to 6 cents. Right? I mean, why not? What's going to stop it? I mean, it's going to have to double bottom here. I don't see any support there for a lot of these coins, but you never know. They're turning me into a perma bear, man. They really are. Like they're cooking us. So anyway, let's take a look. Let's go for the monthly all the way back down like we do every single day and talk about BTC. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Let me get confirmation that I'm actually live from the team. I'll look at the DM. I think everything looks good. I didn't get a DM that I'm not live. So I should be live. Yeah, everything seems legit. Let me go into YouTube here, pop out that chat, and get it going. I've been so into watching what's happening right now in this, in the charts. So it's like two games. You're playing the live stream game, you're playing the trading game. And I want to see both games at the same time, right? Okay. Pop out the chat. God bless you all. I got the chat cooking so I can see what you're saying. Thank you for being here. Zcash continued to do damage too. It's like everything we put out this weekend did amazing. So if we just focus on swing trading and we don't fall in love with these coins, there's still opportunity for us. And there's actually still a beautiful monthly support there at 102,000. As long as Bitcoin doesn't break 102K, we could get ourselves a nice little bounce here and be right back in good graces. Before you know it, this thing could pump to the upside, and we could be doing some serious damage. All right? So here's one idea right there off the bat. 82,355. Bang. And so we're looking for something like this here. You got to get the bounce. So the first thing we're looking at is a possible resistance, which became support on the monthly. If we close below 102,005, that to me will then begin to solidify that we're coming to down to 96K. But before we go to 96K, we do have to close, right? We do have to close below 102,400, all right? So that's the one thing that I would be looking at very, very closely, all right? We have our model cooking too on, let's see here. The bot too, the bot just bought the exact bottom there, 104,000. It's actually in the money already on that bottom buy. We'll see what happens, but the bot loves to snipe the absolute bottoms. It finds those divergences, it finds those areas of weakness for the bears, and always kind of slides its way in there. Amazing how it does that. Another thing I wanted to show you is right now we're watching the model on the 1 minute. I just wanted to kind of get back to that just in case you were watching it too as well. A bounce off the 200 moving average. You know, that's my steez right there. And there's your flag, right? Again, this is just a day trade, swing trade. The market could dump. Who cares? I just want to see if we can get a piece, you know? So there's a day trader in me. There's a long-term holder in me. And there's an investor too. I'm three people, right? And a swing trader too. But I'd like to see if this thing can get tight, stay above the 200, ride with the 21, and then we could get a breakout back here to 107,000 and be whistling Dixie like it never happened and be like, you were scared. No, you were scared. No, you were scared. No, you were scared. And, you know, I bought more Bitcoin in these areas. I figure you have to anytime the fear and greed gets towards a 20, 25 to 15. That area is my buy zone for BTC. Have to buy Bitcoin in those key areas. Just have to. If you're not buying Bitcoin in those areas, I don't know what to say. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say today should be taken as financial advice. You do whatever makes you happy. Altcoins, on the other hand, have been a little different. You know, they've been kind of capitulating for weeks now and losing key areas. Supports, 200 moving averages on the daily. It doesn't look amazing for a lot of altcoins, and it's going to take a lot of money for them to bounce back to the upside. Is that money coming into the alts is the question, right? So, yeah, this is a place where I buy more BTC. Last night I bought 10K worth of Bitcoin. I had 1.9. I wanted to make it 2 even. You know what I mean? I was like, you know what? If I'm going to make it 2 even, I might as well make it 2 even when the fear is high. And so I sloshed it on in there at the right time. I buy red candles long term, and I got a 5-year plan for that BTC. So it's not going anywhere, at least probably 10 years. So I'm making an adjustment for my long-term future today. See, today, right now, I'm standing on a pile of investment, you know, that I started 9 years ago, okay? Today, I stand okay. Today, I could be very calm right now in the massive dumps and red candles because I started doing this a long time ago, okay? And it now has taken care of me for being consistent over time and disciplined. I was disciplined with my money. When many people were out gambling, doing crazy stuff, losing money, I was sitting there putting it away. I was stashing it into BTC, working a night shift, taking extra time. I was working the weekends after working all night long. I worked every Friday night for 6 years. You know what I mean? Maybe I took one Friday night off. I don't know. But every single Friday night while everyone was out drinking, I was at work. I was at work grinding on my night shift. That was just the way it was chosen. You know, it's how I went. And then I was on the internet late at night with computers, and I started teaching myself cryptocurrency. I started teaching myself all sorts of things because I was at work with extra time. All right? Find a job that gives you extra time. Use the resources at that job to start your own business. That's what I did. They left me at a night shift with over 50 computers. And I only needed to use like 15 of them, you know? So I literally could have had people come in. No one would even have known. I could have been hiring people to do tasks for me for other, you know what I mean? Like I could have been outsourcing labor. Maybe one day they'd have looked at the camera like, why do these people? But they never cared if my friends came over and hung out. Like my friend, the thing about working the night shift is my friends could have come over and hung out with me the whole night. As long as I got the work done, they didn't care. They would have checked the cameras maybe if things didn't get done, but like they didn't care, man. They weren't sitting there trying to find out what the night shift guy was doing. So like I could have had like 2 people come in, put them in a room, and made them work on some other task that you know what I mean? It's crazy. I had so much access to the facilities. See? Anyway, 21 is a great place to be adding to my Bitcoin stash for the long term. That's what I'm doing, staying level-headed, staying mature, doing what I know matters, doing what has taken care of me over the long term. You know what I'm saying? Just doing what I got to do. And now we look at Bitcoin somewhat double topping. I want to see if it can stay inside this flag on the 1 minute. If it can, we can go right back here to 107,000. This is volatility at its best. Remember, there's going to be late shorts probably that woke up this morning, panic sold, and now they may get ready to get wrecked. So just, I just trade the model. I see a model that I'm looking at, and let's get this model ready to cook. And we'll figure out where we want to trade the model here today. I'm going to trade it on weeks. Love weeks. Weeks has been holding it down. Hope I see some of the week's team in Portugal in a couple weeks, headed to Portugal in about 10 days, actually. Pretty crazy. So if you're from Portugal, if you're hanging out and you're in the trading group, we can't wait to see you. We want to mix and mingle with you. We want to kick it. So we have a Telegram group. We'll post it again inside the trading group, and we'll get you going, right? Strange. Okay, let's take a look here. Not a robot. Log in. Google Authenticate. Yeah. Bang, bang, bang. Let's just hold on 1 second. Yes. Right. Signing in, baby. Signing in. Getting ready. So that we could get ourselves a nice little move here today. And remember, the day trader doesn't have to fall in love with these coins. All right? We don't fall in love with these coins. I just want to make that clear. How's our Palantir trade doing? Oh my God, Palantir flipped on us to the downside? We were 500 last night. That's insane. Oh my God. Palantir took a beat down? Are you kidding me? I didn't expect that overnight. Last night we went to bed, Palantir up $500 on the trade. Palantir taking a, wow. So I don't understand the stock market. You can go to sleep, up, and wake up just down immediately. So crazy. Really weird, right? Like these gaps. I don't trust the stock market because of these weird gaps. Like, what is that? You know what I mean? Anyway, market closed and open, and they just get open lower than they were. Like in crypto, you could like follow it all. That's crazy to me. I guess I should have taken profits there. I didn't even think that could happen. No, I got the pocket square. It's in there. You just can't see it. I got the pocket square. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Maybe I got to get the light on it over here. So I don't know exactly, but yeah, there you go. Anyway, so we're looking at a possible scalp here on weeks, if possible. We're not going to, no guarantees at all. And the idea is we want to make sure that we could see where our, here's a cool thing. You're trading. You want to know how to set up your trades. And I just kind of wanted to do this today to have it ready for you. So you get in, you sign in. Amazing, right? But you go here to your settings, and you're going to click on settings. And what we're going to do is we're going to want to make this the 200 moving average. Sorry, I made a mistake there. Make it yellow. 3 dots, yeah. Settings. So hit the 3 dots, hit settings. Might take a second. Don't get too antsy. And we're just going to make the 200. Look, source close, offset 0, SMA. All right, bang. And then we have our 200 moving average. See this beautiful yellow line that we've bounced off so neatly? And then we're going to want to go up here, click on this, go to settings, style. Well, we're going to make that nice and white, make it extra thick again. We're going to back to inputs, so we're going to turn that to the 21. All right. On top of that, you're going to hit this again. You're going to hit RSI. Hit stochastics RSI, right? It's really, in my humble opinion, this is what I need to get busy. I like volume a little bit too. And again, I'm using supporter resistance and patterns, a little bit of trend analysis mixed in. And if there's a fib, why not, right? So look, you're looking for something like this. Like, look, you could even pull a mini fib right here. And you always want to set your fib to labels on the right side, right? Because you can't, yeah. See, make sure you're doing that. And then you drag this up to there. Actually, hold on, let's do it correctly. Hit Alt-F, drag up to the upper left. And yeah, I mean, 0.5 fib. You could wick to the 786. But so I like what I'm seeing here. Possible flag here for the bulls. We could continue to the upside for BTC. Right? And we could see this thing take a nice big move to the upside here. Again, I'm not saying that's going to happen. It looks a bit yesterday we did the same thing. It was a double top, right? 1, 2. Look at that. Resistance at 108,000, 104.8. So if you collapse and lose this 200, that's an empath. We're going down further to the downside. We stay in this and get sideways. There's a chance we have ourselves a trade. I wait for confirmation. It is sketchy business. This is getting harder and harder to do. When the market is frothy, my system is beautiful. Everybody's system works better when the market's full of juice. Think about it. It's like swimming when the current's going with you. Everyone looks good. But what about when the current's going against you? Can you swim? Everybody's techniques will struggle. Everyone will go, it'll be a little harder to go against the current, isn't it? Same thing right now. When the market, I have a bullish model, right? The market's turning into a bearish trend. So now we're going to start kind of like a salmon going against the stream, right? We're going to be starting to kind of, again, what's going to happen is eventually there will be a reversal and they'll catch all the shorts off guard. That could pay for all the other times where we're wrong. You see what I'm saying? So as long as we stick to a plan, as long as we have, and we stay mentally stable. See, this is the key. They're rocking so many people and they're losing their sanity. I'm telling you right now, they've almost got me to lose my sanity a few times. I've been pacing. Don't get me wrong. They've got me in a bit of a spin a couple times already because it's just like you start asking yourself, I guess you don't need retail anymore. I guess you don't, like you can wreck everybody in the world and no, it doesn't matter. It's almost like there's an attack on the little guy on any type of way you can get out. And with these 15-minute cities, the way they're crunching in on us, right? The World Economic Forum and their nonsense, their digital ID, you can see they're like, well, cryptocurrency is the only way these people have any way. And so we've got to crush that too as well. It seems like a combined effort just to kind of take away all the possible abilities to get out, right? Salmon, cup and handy. Yeah. So here we are, man. I keep going at my strategy and the probabilities are getting less and less. Right there, it did play out. Got you a little bit of a pump, but nothing too crazy. And I got to get back into the top-down analysis here. But look, it's looking like an M that got rejected by 10. Had this bounced and started to go sideways, I'm in. It's starting to look more and more like an M, is it not, folks? And I would never get out of that head short on the daily. That daily short that we talked about at the beginning of the show. I would be just keeping it a little bit in profit now and riding. But again, no, I am not you. You are not me. We're both going to trade all this stuff differently, no matter how much knowledge we have that overlaps. We're just not the same person, right? And we don't have the same predicaments in life. We don't make the same. You might make way more than me. You know what I mean? You might have a lifestyle I've never even thought about, right? I met people recently that they grew up in villas around the world. Things that we had. I was a middle-class Boston kid. Shout out to everybody here. Put the lemon in the water. I hope you did so. Let's decalcify that pineal gland. Remember, we work on ourselves. We can't let the market destroy your life. So what? A couple of investments didn't go as planned. The day my mother died on Thanksgiving, that day didn't go as planned either. You know what I'm saying? But does that mean I have to, for the rest of my life, cry and be sad? My mother would not want me to not live my life. My mother's parents had passed. And she enjoyed every moment with me, right? She didn't spend all day crying about her mom. She brought up her parents here and there, but she didn't spend every day. So what my mom taught me is to live through her is to not mourn her. And you know what I mean? To live through her is to live a life to the fullest. So live through my mother, everybody. Shout out to Irene Daisy Price, the most beautiful woman on earth. I was looking at her obituary last night at 3 a.m, staring off into space. As Bitcoin dumped, I'm staring at my mother's eyes. I can still type her name in and see her obituary, right? And that'll get you going, right? I'm sorry, I don't mean to bring you there, but I just got to be real too. Everyone gets so caught up in their money. Look at me, look at my money, look at my Lambo, look at my watch, and my mom's sitting there, my beautiful mother, right? So, man, right? So we got to put things into perspective. And if you can't bounce back from a financial loss, how are you going to bounce back from a loss like I took? Or if you lose a friend or a loved one? Just found out. I'll see you in Lisbon at CC. Amazing. Shout out to all the lifers. The market is pounding me, but I keep my head high. Love you, Sam. Big hug from the Muck Bear. Dude, you should have stayed bearish. The Muck Bear. I love you, Muck. I can't wait to see you in Lisbon, man. It'll be good times. Good times. In and out 3 days. You know what I mean? This one will be quicker. Yeah. This year has been brutal. I started trading this year at age 25, and now I'm 70. Dude, I got more gray hairs on my face in the last 18 months. I'm not lying to everybody. I had no gray hairs. My dad didn't get a gray hair until he was like 53, 57, I remember. Like, my dad was all black. Even when my dad passed at 76 years old, he wasn't full gray. He still had like black, grayish hair. You know what I mean? Like, he kept his color for a long time. He stayed in the sun a lot. In the summer, he would just sit there in the sun. Possible double bottom off the 200 moving average. Oversold stochastics. Giving ourselves some hope here. You don't get into the trade right now unless you're a high-risk trader. This is a high-risk position. Shoulder, head, right shoulder could be in play. We want to see the bounce, the tightness. If we get here in the next 10 to 15 minutes, this will give us a higher probability. I've hyper-analyzed the macro scalp for years now, and this is all I do on the channel. We macro scalp a lot. I micro scalp, sorry. I hyper analyze the micro scalps, and I can find just key subconscious areas where the scalp's likely to play out and where it's not. It's so crazy, but this will get stored in your subconscious mind. I never short the market, Sam. Either I'm long, which I am at ETH since or I am out. I love you, man. God bless you. God bless you, Guillermo. I love you, man. Guillermo. Oh no, I'm getting younger. I know, right? Yeah, so I had no gray hairs. And my dad didn't, and again, and just about, I don't know, I'd say 7-8 months ago, I look and I'm starting to get gray hairs near the ears, And I see my beard is like, I'd say, 40% gray hairs now. And I'm blonde, so it kind of blends in, but man, I got gray hairs, man. Like, this market's getting me going, man. It's frying me. It's frying me. I still look good, right? I still look young. I love the lifers, man. God bless everybody here. Thank you for always giving me a place to be. You know what I mean? You're nailing the spelling of my name, Sam. Perfect. Thank you so much, man. I hope so, brother. I never want to butcher somebody's name. It's like the worst, especially when you've like hung out with them and you love and respect them, but then you still don't know their name. It's happened to me before where I'm like, yo, I like you, man. I'm not good at your name yet. I'll get there. Guillermo. It's a beautiful name. And God bless your parents for naming you something so cool, man. Thank you, Sam, for bringing your family into our lives. Hopefully you touch other people like you do me. Don't ever stop. God and family are more important. Thank you. Hey, man, God bless you, brother. Orderly is making a move. You mentioned it before. Let's take a look at Orderly. Yeah. And I did, what I did is I condensed my altcoins again. I looked at all the trash that I had for all the years, and I decided to get rid of trash. I really did, and I said, you know what, I'm going to offset some losses for this year, and I looked at what I should be taking out and what I couldn't, and order, right? Yeah, Orderly. That's making a move. No, I'm just joking. Well, let's take a look here. Funny, too, it peaks at 48. It tanks all the way back to 16. A little bit of a move. I mean, it went from 15 up to 17. I get it. Yeah. I'll be laughing in the coming days to anyone who was short now. Pound Hero bounced back. I got gray hair during the 217 Bitcoin dump from 19 to 3K. Hell, me too. But I did the same thing. I held from 3K to 20K back to 3K. I round tripped Bitcoin, everybody, from 3,000 no. I started looking at Bitcoin at $350. I started buying it around 800 to 1,000. I watched it rip. I made a 19x off a lot of my Bitcoin buys up to 19,000. And then I saw it come all the way back down to 3,600. Everyone told me, my family and friends told me, this is the insanity period. Sam, you're insane. You need to get out of cryptocurrency. You had a cool narrative. You looked smart for a while. See, everyone thought I was just this new guy who jumped into something crazy online. Because I had talked about 9/11, I talked about, Pearl Harbor. I talked about I had deep dived all the stuff, right? Near-death experiences, MUFON, aliens, you know what I mean? And it just and then I was like, nah, and then I was like, Bitcoin. So my friends were like, oh, this is another one of his crazy internet rabbit holes he's on. And like, oh, cute little Sam, like, maybe he'll come back into reality one day. The crazy thing is everyone was living in reality. Okay? Like, this was the reality bubble. I went onto that night shift. And on the night shift, I was alone, I told you, around all these computers. I'm sitting alone around 150 computers. I can set one to go, once I get good at my job, I'm overlapping tasks. Because if you have two computers, right, think about, and you have to get files done, you can export a file while you transcode a file. You can transcode and export. You can do, you know what I mean? And then one day you'll have your mind will be like, whoa, what if I could export all three of these? And sometimes I had 5 exports that night. Instead of waiting for each one to finish, I would just open up another computer, overlap them all. I'd get the 3 done, and sometimes each took 40 minutes. You see what I'm saying? Then my mind got really efficient. I'd be late at night. I'd be on mentionables, and I'd say, how can I do this the best all by myself so I can go home early and get better sleep? And I took the 8-hour shift and turned it into a 4-hour shift after about 2 years. No matter how much they gave me, and then I was smart too. I knew that the night shift had carte blanche, right? No one was on me, so I never gave them too much. One day if I could really get it all done and nail it, I always pulled back a little bit, and I gave them about 80% of the work, because sometimes we did have big problems, and we could only get 80% of the work done. It was rare, but it happened. And so if you gave them 100 every time, and then they expect that when you had the issue, you could run into a snag. And so to keep things running efficiently, you let them think this is what you get done. And so and again, I wasn't lazy. I did a lot of work. I made, that's actually efficient, because if you overload the system, at one point, the system will break. All right. So I'd be there late at night figuring out how to do the task the best by myself. And then once things were cooking, I'd be on a computer researching whatever I wanted. You know what I mean? Quantum physics, internet, aliens, So my family and friends saw me go on these internet deep dives, and they eventually thought I had lost my mind. And when I got deep into Bitcoin, they thought I was absolutely crazy, but they didn't realize that they were still in the society bubble where they thought money was the same, and maybe they even thought the dollar was backed by gold and all sorts of craziness. And I had left society and went out onto the new realm. Like, my brain had went on in a journey into the other realms. You see what I'm saying? I no longer was with everybody else. They were going to work 9 to 5. I was going to work at night. While I walked to work, I saw masses in New York City walk to the train. When I got out and took my lunch break, quote unquote, it was like 9 at night, 10 at night. I took a little break. I walk around the city for 10, 20 minutes, go get some food or something. City would be empty. It would be 19th Street and 5th Avenue. It would be quiet. Manhattan was my playground. I'd be out there all the time late at night. Every night I was in Manhattan until 1, 3 in the morning. For years. I got to know the city so well for so many different reasons. Anyway, so that's my story. I worked a night shift for 6 years. I used these computers to figure out what was going on the internet. While the whole world focused on the world, I was deep diving the future and seeing where we could go, right? People questioned my sanity, friends and family, and thought I was insane. And that's okay. You know what I mean? That's okay. Look at this is looks like a double top. That's now taking the M pattern, so you don't want to get in there, and you can say, okay, you can always keep hope alive, because this is trading chess with a chess player. Maybe the chess player is just duping us, but that's likely, in my humble opinion, going to take a deep dive dump. I would be careful here. I'd be using some of these pumps to maybe cover, I will be honest with everybody. I covered and I stashed a lot of Tether last night. Whether, you don't want to sell the bottom, but I sold things that just I don't know. It doesn't look like they're going to come back. I was in a lot of sketchy altcoins that I probably should have been in. And I came to terms last night that, you know what, I'd rather not even, I'm done playing that game. And what I could do is I can swing trade that money in an altcoin that has good liquidity and not stress. And I'm better swing trading than I ever was. I'm a better trader than I ever was. So I'm not the same guy that needs to hold on to these coins like I used to. And we went at them in 2023, like GFAL. Is that really going to come back? Games for a living, you know what I mean? I was holding coins from back in the day that I'm just questioning, whether that's even, See if we can turn this into an inverted head and shoulder and possibly save the day. Get the bounce off the 200. That is a high risk, high reward play right there. To buy right at the 200 moving average. That is like supreme high risk. So close to, they could just turn on a dime and kick you out, right? The idea is you're technically buying like a tweezer bottom on the weekly. You know how they look? Well, look, that's a bit of a cup and handle now, a bit of a double bottom, right? And you would say, okay, the length is this leg. It's actually not a bad leg there. And you'd be buying the legendary bounce off the 200 moving average in a double bottom here. I mean, I like to buy some of the, it's just because it looks so legendary on a live stream, you know, but it's like showing off, trading, showing off, you know. And honestly, to me, it's an M pattern that's likely going to take you down. I see no reason to stop the daily shorts. And I have to be honest with everybody, I see more downside. If this goes down to 96, 98K, it's going to take a long time to recover. It's not going to go right back above 100K real quick. I'll tell you that right now. It's going to take time. It's going to take some time. Let's finish our top-down analysis. I kind of bounced back into Bitcoin pretty fast there, into the smaller time frames. But it looks like that M pattern is going to dump you down to about 102.9, in my humble opinion. Bookmap suggesting that we go lower too as well, with a load of liquidity all the way down to 95,000, 95,600, 97,750. So I would expect to see lower, and for us to break 90. Did you ditch Caspa? Yeah, all of it, man. Actually, I didn't. Task was in a hardware wallet. You just reminded me I have to go snatch it and find out where it is and take it off the one key. And then I'm about to sell everything, man. Yeah, I'm about to sell everything, buy a Lambo, and then rent the Lambo out for days. You know what I mean? Rent it out for days and sell. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, and then when the market settles, sell the thing, get back in the market. You know what I mean? It's like, it finishes on the week, it'll be the 102. It's over. Yeah, I mean, I see a massive dump here right now. That was your last hurrah. See my what happens is I find my model on the 1 minute. The first thing I have to see is the model play out. See, the smart man in me, when the market's great, I'll take the 1 minute model. When the market's not so great, the 1 minute model will play out, but that will be all you get. You'll never get the 5 minute model. When the market's really good, you get the 1 minute model. It breaks out beautifully, you pump, and then you get the 5 minute model within like about 2 hours later, something like that. I can't tell you exactly the timing, but it's about an hour and a half to 2 hour and 2.5 hours later. And boom, you get this model, right? Then if that goes well, you get it on the 7 minute, which is sometimes is the 5, they're pretty close, and then you get it on the 15. So what I do is when the market's really sketchy, I don't trade the 1 minute and the 5 minute. I wait for the 15 minute. Yes, you're going to miss the move from 104 all the way to 105. So, not to miss that, I'll be watching the 4 hour. And if I see tweezer bottom on the 4 hour, like last night, I went at the 4 hour tweezer bottom. Didn't play out. I did everything you could to be bullish. You know what I mean? I went at this little tweezer bottom, had a little bit of love, but not much. You know, this one, we had a little bit of love, not much. So happy these alts are going to zero. And honestly, we kind of need to scratch out a lot of these, you know, a lot of these crappy projects. And so remember, we went over this idea too yesterday in depth, and we talked about this being a head and shoulder pattern. And we talked about how the stop loss above 111,000 with the entry right there, that's just the most likely scenario, right? Excuse me. I see a bear flag now on the 15-minute time frame. Let me show you. That's a bear flag. That is a bear flag. It's a bearish rectangle. Likely going to continue further to the downside here, somewhere to about 99,588. That would be your target. Flip it upside down. We trade this all the time. Tight moving averages, right? Double bottom. I see this collapsing down to 99,005. Looks like we will break 100K maybe on the show, right? And a lot of people are stacking their XRP in these lower times. But yeah, this looks like it's going to take a nasty dump to the downside. Let's see if we can flip this now. We're below the 200. I didn't get into the trade. I was looking for the entry, didn't get it. So we would flip short here. And again, it's going to be short season. Most of these shorts should play out. I am sketched out trading almost anything right now because the market book is so slim. They could easily just punch it up and knock you out real fast. So, you know, if you're not already in the bigger time frame shorts, it is a bit sketchy, I will tell you. And you have to be okay with the fact that, you know, we're playing in their ballpark right now. We're not in control as much as we were when there was more people in the market. See, it's like running, you know what I mean? A bunch of animals running from prey, and they have to run through, let's just say, you ever see the wildebeest, right? And they have to run away from the lions. And the lions wait for them to migrate every year. And they go after the weak ones. And like, when there's a bunch of them, it's easier for you not to get eaten by the lions, right? But when you get separated from the herd and they kind of isolate you, it's a lot easier to get eaten, right? Trading is very similar. You want to use the herd as protection. I've been trading for so long, I realized that, wow, I need the herd. You see what I mean? Very important. So look, if you're going to short the market here on weeks, you're going to hit the short button. Like you're riding the short bus, right? 99,256 would be the target. Stop loss would be somewhere above 104,933, right? And so this would be a potential short here for BTC. 300 for $1,000, make $1,000 of the day. $4,000 move. 400 for 15. And you hit the open short button. Make sure your liquidation price is well above your stop loss. All right. And that's a trade on weeks there, taking the short flag. And again, this is just what I do. Doesn't mean it's going to happen for sure. There's a little bit of bull div there. Not amazing. And I know that it's not, I didn't put a lot of stock in that, but there you go. That's kind of the short idea there for the moment. And it's kind of spoken. You kind of have a double top. I feel like it's told us what it wants to do. They've kind of licked liquidity, came back up again. May kind of go after this wick again for people to think they bought the quote-unquote bottom. 15-minute looks like it is going to collapse the way I'm looking at it, but you never know. Let's get back to the bigger time frame and finish our top-down analysis for Bitcoin. I didn't want to leave you hanging and be going over the monthly when Bitcoin made absolutely collapse to the downside, right? So I wanted to make sure we kind of covered what was happening right now, all right, before we kind of jumped on in and got real technical with it. So you can see how that 15-minute looks like a double top. It looks like a cat ears. It looks like cat ears wanting to dump. Again, maybe it's rounding the bottom with a triple bottom. Maybe there's a chance, but even the stochastics look like a rollover. Fear and greed is at 20, 21. And it's yeah. If the stream is cutting in and out, just reset, right? Reset yourself. Yeah, it's probably on you and not me. It happens in different servers around the world. YouTube has a lot of traction everywhere, right? My team is watching it all the time, though, and we have pretty good control on that. Sean, can I get an okay that are we in and out, right? Okay, let's take a look at Bitcoin on Binance. So let me just finish. I've been a little racy because I'm watching the smaller time frames. I mean, we absolutely collapsed just now, right? And I'm on the king of 3%, almost about to get that 3%. 104. 103,500. I see the move down to 99 there. Bookmap has the liquidity. We have the flag. Everything kind of in our favor. Let's see if we can make some money today on this short and day trade our way to the upside here. We got to take advantage of any way the market goes. Okay. Capital giveaway, brother. Yeah, stream is fine. Thank you. Zero issues, all good. Sam is trading on the tablet. Yeah. All right, so back to brass tack. Let's get back to that monthly. So the monthly, as long as it stays above 102,005, we're okay. If we lose 102.5, we have to start suggesting that 96 is coming. If 96 breaks, you have to start looking at 82,547. All right, these are just key areas. A lot of wicks to the downside. Again, we could even see this as a shoulder, a head. We may make a right shoulder. People will say, oh, we're bouncing again. That's the bounce back. That may be the exit point when we retest, and then the low. If that plays out, where does Bitcoin end up going? It ends up heading all the way down here to about 51,347. All right. So, team, get on that spam, man. I already saw it and could have done it. How come I'm quicker on spam and I'm not even paying attention? I'm not mad at anybody, but I could have done that already. I'm giving someone else the chance to do it, but I could have clicked it already. Yeah, I'm not even going to pay attention to it, but come on. I've seen it like 16 times now. Where is my team at? Get that dude out of. Thank you. God bless you. Okay. So this is a possible move here. Look, 555 sold. You know, this is possible. Takes you down to $51,000 BTC. Right? And if we pull a Fibonacci from the beginning to the end here, and we find out where that 618 is in that golden pocket, right to that line there, we're sitting somewhere at about 55,000. The 0.5, it's 70K. And you see there's a lot of resistance right there too. That $69,000 level may be touched. You know, I don't want to be overly bearish. I just got to give you the areas that make sense. You know, there's a chance we bounce today and I don't win the short. You know what I mean? There's a chance that nothing happens the way I'm saying it. Right? God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. Yeah, why don't you stream on Kick? It allows for trading streams and earnings are phenomenal. Hey, maybe we will. I've never really, you know, no one's ever kind of approached me about it. I don't know much about it. I see Aiden Ross and all these people making money on it. I don't know. In my opinion, retail never came this cycle. Yeah, I kind of agree with that statement. I felt like we were trading against institutions the whole time. We did amazing. My trading group knocked it out the park. So look, I mean, a reset down to the 21-day moving average of the monthly. And, you know, we're still holding 102.5. So that, you know, just like we said there when we closed above. But look how much has happened in just a couple days. The monthly has absolutely collapsed. And again, it was a tweezer top right there. 2 tweezer tops in a row. Multiple wicks. Look at this. I mean, bearish. The 2-week chart. In my humble opinion, you've fallen out the falling wedge. And I kept saying to everybody, I said, when falling wedges break down, they break down to where they began. I said, that one means Bitcoin would go all the way back down here to about 77,000. I said, I've seen that hundreds of times. Like, that's 68% of the time that happens. So if we end up collapsing down there, like, it would take some time, then we'll go sideways on the week. It's the sad thing is, this is going to take time. And there's the short. The shorts that you're in the money right now on the short we just gave you. I mean, that thing is starting to collapse. And we got liquidity. I mean, look at the liquidity on Bookmap. You guys do this with me every day. The sad thing is when it's bearish, it's harder to do, right? Because it's kind of crushing your dreams. We got to get our emotions out of the way and we just have to do what we do, you know? Yeah. Institutions are playing the long game. Retail is broke, everyone. Inflation gobbled up the liquidity. Nobody can complain. Yeah. They lost purchasing power, don't have to purchase crypto. They are buying every items at higher prices. Yeah. XCL is burning 35,000 tomorrow. 35,000 tokens? Or, I mean, yeah. I like that. Do coin M shorts. That way you don't. I like this guy. Retail is fueling the economy. Been building for a few years. Live in a tourist town in the summer. Was way down on vacation rentals. The housing market is stalled. Me too. I agree with you. I was in a vacation town and it was a slower market than normal. Yeah. 100%. We did all right because it was a very inflated market that's very insulated with many rich people, but still, right? Amazon laying off $600K for AI. Yeah. Massive discounts at a bull run sponsored by the market maker. Amazing, right? And I will tell you, I take advantage of these BTC prices. I look for 10 years ahead. All coins, no way. But Bitcoin for sure. Right? So look, the weekly has fallen out of the pattern. Did a bearish retest. Keep trying to say it's in the pattern. To me, no way. Even if you went this way, you have to say it fell out. You can't start saying, oh, but it's in there. It's not in there. It never, you know what I mean? We showed you the 3-day head and shoulder. We talked about it. We went over it before the right shoulder got made. I said, that doesn't look good. I said, we showed the tweezer top on the 3-day. I said, this isn't a good sign. I said, Bitcoin is sick, friends. We must be honest with ourselves. And people are like, why are you so, remember the guy, why are you so bearish? It's like, I'm not bearish, man. I just show the charts the way they are, and I'm actually excited. I'm excited. I like cheap Bitcoin. I have to be honest. Like, I like when Bitcoin gets into the 10s and the 15s. It's usually pretty close to a bottom. So we're fine. We're closer to a bottom than a top, I'll tell you that. And we're not that far away from the top. Look, we double top. We had bearish div. It was all there. Moving averages were far apart. Everything was there. Okay? Does that mean I panic sell every Bitcoin I hold? No, I do not. I do not. You know, it's not easy, but I have a long-term plan. So here's the deal. We come all the way back down here to $87,000. That would be the 3-day 200 moving average. That would be a level you want to see. Let me teach you a trick. When you lose the daily 200, I told you when we got here, I was super bearish. When we got back up, I said, okay, now we got a chance. Let's make the flag on the 4-hour. That 4-hour collapsed below the 200. I told you that was our shot. We hit resistance right there. I mean, we double topped on the daily. Then we had tried to double bottom, tried the higher low. We came up, we hung out, we showed you my model again. It didn't, the model kept getting rejected. The second this candle was red below the daily, I told you it was so sketchy. And to look out, I said, that's a right shoulder getting made. We front ran the right shoulder for you. I gave you the call yesterday right there at 108 and 107.7. You're at 107.7, you're up now $4,000 on the move. The stop was up here above this. People say, oh, never use a stop, but the stop never got hit. You see? And below that 200 moving average. So sketchy business all around here for Bitcoin. Right? Yeah, so confirmed we are in a bear market. When you're below the 200 moving average on the daily, you know, again, we did it here though, and we were able to come back up with massive buy pressure. You know, you have to say this is still technically a higher low. We would technically have to take out 99.5. So I've round tripped so many times, plenty of times to take profits at the highs, 100%. It's okay. I did it. Everybody does it. It's about learning from your mistakes and just not doing it again. All we can do is say, hey, we can't do that again. Bookmap is saying a lot of liquidity to the downside. It's saying all the way down to 96,000, 95K, 97.5 for sure. So Bookmap is in confluence with a move to the downside. Look for the bearish retest now of the line that we just lost. So once the daily loses, this is the trick I wanted to teach you. Once the daily loses the 200 moving average, the yellow line, your next stop is the 2-day 200 moving average. Now you'll look at support or resistance, so you can bring that right there. You can see we have daily support at 101.5. So there's nothing really to stop you from, like, you're going to 101.5. You see? And then you're going to come to the 2-day. Now, if you go below the 2-day 200 moving average, right? We close a candle below here. You're going to be going to the 3-day 200 moving average, which is going to be at 87,000. This will slowly move up as you move down, so they'll meet somewhere around here. And then you got this point of control, high volume node. So how is 97K not coming at this point? You shoulder, head, and right shouldered. You double topped. You had bearish divergence. You had 2 wicks. You had bearish div there too. Okay. Remember, I sold a local top on that live stream the day my plane came in to Miami from Singapore. Since then, I've been just, and then I called this bottom. We had a beautiful move. Right? We had another little bottom. We did great in these little areas. Right? I called this bottom here. I called this, remember that one night, the bottom before I went to Singapore was epic right there at 109.3. We made some, I made freaking 20K in a few days while I was traveling. I mean, and I didn't give all this back. I still have chunks of this money. Thank God. Thank you, Lord, for keeping me humble. I have taken some serious unrealized losses in altcoins. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah. I'll take those losses and I'll pin them against wins and, but it's good to tax lost harvest, sell off things that are down huge. Even if you want to buy them back, you can still use that loss in cryptocurrency. That law will change probably, take advantage of it while you can, and again, find out, talk to your CPA or whatever. Make sure you're getting the proper information. All right. You're such a good teacher, bro. I appreciate you. You're a blessing, good sir. Thank you. God bless you, man. Thank you for saying that. In a day like today, I'll take all the compliments I can get, man. It's not easy. It's not easy. This was the worst cycle for altcoins I've ever seen. I took an L on an alt recently, first one. Wow, first one, good for you. Right? I feel like we may go to 100,000, 390, 300, hold strong before going back up. I don't know what's going to happen. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I do know how the moving averages work, though. Right? And look, you're already up 8% of the trade. So if you took the trade with me, you are in the green so far, up 8%, 150. We'll see where it goes. There may be a beautiful bounce right now, right back to the upside. I'm not a fan of shorting too much, but you got to do what you got to do, right? I'll take whatever the market gives me for that day. So daily to me suggests lower lows. So now I would say, well, where is the flag then? The daily doesn't look amazing. Where's the, and we call this a bear flag, right? And that's the flag. And then look for the, like I said, look for the bearish retest or the continuation. And then you take the measured move and it tells you you're going somewhere down to $99,100, $100, you know. Even Bitcoin juked us more times than it did in the past. Yep. Yep. It carries over until you use up. Exactly, yes. Yeah. Looks like the money printer forming. We definitely appreciate you, Sammy. Cup and handy on the upside. Yeah, I just see more downside. I see more downside. I'm sorry. I'm just playing the charts. Everyone wants to say, oh, but this is the, you know. I remember when they kept saying buy the dip, and I kept saying, no. I remember when I said I'm going to tether up before that. Remember the day of the dump I tethered up? You can go back to the stream, October 10th. On that live stream, I said, you know what? I'm tethering up a little bit here. Market looks sketchy. And then that afternoon, my buddy's like, 105K? And I'm like, 105K? I'm eating at the Columbia restaurant in St. Armand Circle. I'll never forget it. I turned ghost white. I said, 100, what? I said, they took it from 119 to one, like, what are you talking about? Like, this is in one day. This isn't like in seconds. Price action goes from like 117 all the way down to 102. And then everyone chucked money in there thinking, oh, we just bought the bottom. That's all you had to do. And then all these influencers were like, yeah, what are you, stupid? You got no guts. Buy the bottoms. And I was like, I don't know, man. I said, that move was so weird to me. Kind of made me, I was like, something ain't right here. Something ain't right here, you know? Exactly 4 years ago to this day, Bitcoin dumped 80% over 5 months. Crazy, right? I have so much tax harvesting loss. I'll be 150 years old when I'm done with it. Hey, there you go. Monday quarterback. Yeah, make some noise for DJ Armin Van Buren. I know, right? Shout out to DJ Armin Van Buren in the house, man. Guy's a legend. Hangs out with us every day. Strategy is so important. Pay the trader. Don't be greedy because it'll come back to eat your position up. I've got some clarity, and you need clarity to short the market because you can't be in your head. And to see clarity, you got to be able to kind of just to know what and when. And it feels good to not be controlled by these alts and to just kind of cut a lot of them off. I'll be honest, it feels good. They don't control me anymore. I'm free. You know, I can swing trade. I can do whatever I like. And I don't got to, you know, I don't got to stress. A little bit of bullish divvy here. I mean, this is a rock solid move up with a move to the downside. You can almost say the bullish div was here, though, and it's just kind of not happening. You know? Bitcoin slides. I love reading the news just to kind of see what they, you know, Mara posts a record 123 million profit by pairing Bitcoin operations with its new power and AI. Mara comes out and reports record earnings on Tuesday, posting 123 million in third quarter profit as a higher Bitcoin prices during the period and operational efficiency drove a 92% jump in revenue over to 252 million. The results marked a sharp turnaround from 125 million loss a year earlier, helped by a 64% increase in hash rate and low power cost. The company mined 2,144 Bitcoin during the quarter and now holds 53,250 BTC worth nearly 5.6 billion at the current prices. That keeps Mara ranked second among all publicly known Bitcoin treasuries, behind market leader Strategy, ahead of Jack Mallers' XXI. Adjusted EBITDA, a profitable measure that excludes interest, taxes, depreciation, and other non-cash items, rose to nearly 400 million as the company pushes to own more of its energy infrastructure and reduce hosting expenses. I'm a Mara holder, just so you know. I want to make that really clear. I hold Mara stock. Bad idea if you were looking to make gains. Had I put the money into Bitcoin at the time, there was 15K. I put into Mara around $8. It's just since doubled. Okay. Had I put into Bitcoin, Bitcoin was around $20,000. Bitcoin has now since 6x'd. So Bitcoin was a better play than the Mara call, but we'll see long term. It's in there, so I have it in there now. But I'm like, you know, it's been in there like damn near 2 years. How will Mara, you know, and again, huge earnings, great idea. Mara's still down because Bitcoin's dragging it to the floor. You see? So this is where I stand here. Could we get a beautiful bullish divvy? I mean, it looks interesting. Could this be the bottom? I don't see support, right? I don't see support, so I can't tell you for sure. You know? You know, it all depends. Check, 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 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2. Anyway, let me take the music off for you. I don't know what he's saying, but I always... Hello? Yeah. Yeah, there's like background sound with the noise. Yeah, whatever. It's cool. If you just have the music on, it flows. Yeah, that's fine. There's computer noise. There's always going to be a room tone, but I don't know. It's pretty good to me. Every time selling Bitcoin, always a weird move for me. I just accumulate it and I look for 5 years down the road. You know, I'm going to look at 2030 at what I did today, and that's when I'm going to judge it. But until then, I'm not going to judge my moves, right? Possible bullish divvy here. There's a chance we get some type of inverted head and shoulder. I mean, I'm the king of attempting to find these reversals. And then the 1 minute would have to get back above the 200, but you know how we roll. A little bullish divvy there too, but we had one there too that just, you could say there was it's pretty strong. Yeah, microphone cuts out every 4 to 5 seconds. That's weird. My sound on YouTube is fine. Yeah, it's something on your end or wherever you guys are in the world. Yeah. Yeah, I would just reset your computer end. Yeah, I got traction on it and I could hear it. So. Okay, so here we go. And again, if you do not know how to trade, you're emotional, you're wilding out, you're clicking the button 17 times today, you're freaking out, you can't breathe, you can't see we're clearly going down, and look, I can make a nice $200-300 today. So if I do that 3 times this month, in this week, I can make myself $600. If I do that 10 times, that's $2,000. Right? There's money to be made out here if we stay level-headed. But if we get crazy in our minds and just bug out, like, it's not going to happen. So we gotta maintain, right? I'm in the U.S. and the audio was cutting it out multiple times. And thank you. It happens, man. It's the servers. I live stream all the time. I have no idea what's going on. Could be restream. You never know. No sound issues here at Milligan's Travels. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, someone said, rude, man. Shows what kind of person you are. Tisk, tisk. Yeah, I didn't even see it, man. God bless them, though. It's okay, man. People that don't respect other people don't respect themselves. So it's just saying, hey, I don't respect myself. When you put someone else down, you're saying out loud to the world, I do not respect myself. I live the way, I'm influenced by the devil and low deeds and low frequency, and I'm going to hurt others as best I can. I'm going to use my mouth, my energy to be horrible. That, again, it sounds like I'm saying that out of context, but you know what I mean? When you're putting someone else down, you're putting yourself down, you're lowering your own frequency. It hurts you worse than the person you're putting down. I just want to make that clear. I don't think people realize that, how much your own integrity is questioned when you put somebody else down. Amen. Sounds Chris from down under. God bless you, yeah. Yeah. All those questionable sites you've been looking at. Exactly, right? Facts. Lifer, why are you shorting the bottom? So funny, right? I mean, it could be the bottom. I'm just day trading, man. I'm not like, yeah, Honestly, there's a chance we get some bullish divvy here on the 3 minute. I just see more downside. The daily and the bigger time frames say more downside. I'm just going with what I see on the bigger time frames and taking that, like taking this, like this is a bear flag now that has already broken to the downside, even on the 1 hour. Like the 1 hour has rolled over on you. Like it's a bear flag. Flip it upside down. I mean, we trade this the same way. We're touching the 21, low stochastic, you know what I mean? So I just see more downside. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. Yeah. If you think I'm shorting the bottom, then, right? Jelly ripping again. Are you kidding me? Why? Like, so weird. Like, why is Jelly just dominating the market? Oh my gosh, bro. It's just absurd. And I said, look for it to flag out. It didn't even do that. It just kind of kept going and then made another strange. This is just nuts. It went from 7 cents last night. I can't believe this. It's almost done a 4x since last night. Jelly. So it rips from 7 cents all the way to 15, dumps back to 5, and then goes from 5 to 26. Crosses the 200 moving average on the 30-minute time frame and absolutely explodes. Jelly. Makes this kind of crazy, flag here, which looks like an ascending triangle, gets tight, breaks out that measured move. To me, it's just like, I'm bewildered by the sketchiness right now. Like, why is that pumping while the whole market's dumping? And again, we saw some altcoins that were doing damage. Let's take a look at Zcash. Is it holding against BTC? Took a massive dump with Bitcoin. Crazy, from 480 all the way back to 400. See if it can retest this channel. Crazy. Look at Zen. Did Zen collapse too? It looks like all those coins were doing damage. Yeah, Zen was doing almost at the target there. Look at that. We put Zen out right there. Sean, I don't know what's going on with the team, but like I put out this, and I even posted this to the group, and I don't know what happens to the gains. Maybe they're there. Let's take a look. You probably nailed it. Yeah, you nailed it, Sean. God bless you, man. So look, we gave you Zen just 2 days ago. It's up 62% if you're in the trading group. Nailed it. Dash. Inside this thing, it went all the way to the target. 54% gains for Dash. Shout out to Shano, nailing it. I'm hard on my team, right? Accurate Bitcoin call there to the downside. You can see it going to 103,791. It hit that target eventually too as well. We're lower than it. 102,950 for Bitcoin. And when you finally flip bearish and everyone else can't hold on, they collapse. 103,000 gone. See you in Valhalla trademarks. Cash, funny, right? You're funny. Yeah. Alt, I flipped the chart. Exactly. Just flip the chart. The chart will show you what to do both ways. The divergence is getting stronger. And remember, Bookmap's telling you you're going to flood down to 97.5. So it is what it is. That'd be a $6,000 move for Bitcoin. I know ICB pumping all week. So crazy. It's really odd. So let's take a look at coin market cap and see what's hot today compared to the rest of the market. Aster is not hot. Attempted to call that bottom yesterday. It did not work there. Never trade all. Every time I trade, I average like 150, but still, man, all coins are just. BitGet token up a little bit. And let's see in the last 24 hours. Yeah, Dash up 51% in 24 hours. It's kind of crazy, right? Dash just absolutely exploded last night. I saw that Dash was looking good. Monero was looking interesting. All the privacy coins, the main ones, R, which is Pirate Chain, Dash, right? Monero, and Zcash. Those are your 3 top privacy coins. Sam, have a great stream. I'm out for dinner. God bless you, man. Dinner at 11:18 in the morning. I don't know what that's all about. No, I'm just messing with you. We got people from all around the world here. Short still going to the downside as suggested. Okay. What's cooking? Good looking. Nothing on the BBQ. Oh, I had some great skirt steak last night that was marinated in like a sesame ginger teriyaki. Oh, man. That is the way to go, right? Skirt steak is just, I might like skirt steak more than any, I love my ribeyes, but man, it's so easy and quick to cook, right? You just boop, boop, boop. It's fast and easy because you can see exactly what you're doing. You have complete control over it all. Look, and here's the short continuing to collapse. Come on down to daddy here. Come on down to daddy. You got to take the mark. Yeah, we're just doing what we do every day. The 21 touching the flag. Rolling over on the stochastics RSI. Now I'm hungry, I know, right? New York strip all day, baby. Oof. Now I want to eat a strip. Now I want to rip a strip. Don't sleep on skirt steak. It's delicious. It really is, though. It's like, even the way it looks, right? The way you can see the strands. Oh, man, you just want to rip it up. I'll sit there grabbing just, and you know, I got 3 daughters and my wife. No one eats as much as me, so there's always leftover steak, and I'm just going in. I always overeat on that steak, man. Get a strip on that BBQ, baby. I got you. It's always define the market. Digibyte, can you take a look at Sam? Steak twice a day is the one. I love you, brother. Yeah, old privacy coins are moving. People want to be in privacy coins. They want, you know, it's like they sold off and they want to sit. Look, 102,855, Bitcoin collapsing as we told you it would. So sorry. Yeah, I don't like rooting for the downfall of my favorite asset in the world. Like, yay, short it. You know what I mean? It's not my thing. But it is what it is. The times are calling. It is what it is. I see. It is what it is, my friends. Heavy losses all around the board. I'm happy I tethered myself up and did what I had to do. It is what it is. 102,740. The crypto dump continues. The pain continues. And I'm sorry to show you the bearer of bears news, but this is just how the market works. Let it dump all the way down to 94,000. If you like skirt, try. Oh no, flank steak too. I never really noticed the difference between flank and skirt. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think I would even notice. Yeah, skirt and strip steak sound delicious. Oh my God, it is. How about the Black Friday sale? I mean, we are having a Black Friday sale. If you're getting wrecked and you do not know what you're doing, if you keep losing money, if you want to join a community that will keep you sane in the craziness, if you want a bunch of traders that actually trade the right way, they can see the market most of the time, it's me and the lifers, man. And you'll be around a bunch of sane people that are watching the market together that understand what's happening. And if you like that idea, go to cryptolifer.com to find out more. I've been here through... My trading group doubled when we went from 69 to 15,000. I doubled my trading group. Like, you know, we shorted Luna. We found ways to make money no matter what. We found opportunity. A coin just went up overnight. Last night, a coin just went up. Once the market levels off again, there's going to be opportunity, just like the stock market. Heck, we give stock market calls too, so we don't even just stick there. We do everything. From Palantir to gold, you name it. I gave a gold call that played out. You know, so if you want to understand what's happening in the macro analysis, if you want to really see it, right, come on into cryptolifer.com, and we are having a Black Friday sale. So if you want to wait, these prices will drop from $999 to, I believe, $777. But if you can't wait, it's still an amazing discount because it'll be $1,200 for the year. We'll give it for $999, right? But we'll give you an extra discount coming up on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. We're going to do an amazing weekend sale, so get ready. It'll be amazing. So, and again, this is what you need. It has an educational, it's basically a place for you to focus. That's all. I joined a trading group. That's how I got where I am today. I don't know any other way. Other people say, oh, trading groups don't work. Don't do this. I needed a group of people to keep me together. I was all over the place. I was drinking. I was there. I joined a mentor that started a group. I saw the guy made a video every day. I saw how hard he worked, and his work ethic rubbed off on me. And somehow I'm here where I'm at today. I don't know how it happened, but I found a mentor. I found a trading group that made sense to me, and I hung out with that group, and I did what and I had an amazing time. So, and look where I got. I ended up changing my life, starting a YouTube channel, educating people around the world. So I don't know. I can't tell you. I'm sure there's people that don't use trading groups. I'm not trying to say, I don't know this, I don't know everybody's way. All I know is my way. I joined a trading group. It changed my life. So I offer a trading group because I know it changed my life. And I think it gives people a place to stay consistent and focused when the market is ripping your heart out and you don't understand what's happening. A lot of people lose thousands of dollars had they just joined a trading group for $99 a month, even for 4 months. You don't have to be in my group for years. You know what I mean? Even 4 to 5 months of knowledge will change the way you see the market. Heck, if you don't want to join the group, you could even just jump on in and teach. I teach class the last Saturday of every month. I'll be there like I am every single month. I can't wait to see the people that are willing to take that class, and hit the QR code to find out more. That's $150. People are offering that for $3,000, dividing it into modules and all sorts of craziness, right? Someone says, you still holding Arrow? I'm still holding Arrow, yes. Yeah. I did it my way. Exactly. You could do it your way. Someone says, will Bitcoin down even more? To me, it suggests that it will. Yeah. Anyone knew we used the education we received from Sam and Master Friend to make gains? Up, trend, or down? Join the 99. Take their classes. Get the education you deserve at CryptoLifer.com. Stop being stuck when the market dumps. Learn how to take advantage of it. Make a day's pay off the market, no matter what's happening that day. Right? 70K will be the low. Max fear engaged. Sell all your gold like I did and go all in on Zcash. You're funny, man. Hey, that was a great, when gold peaked, selling gold for Zcash was the move. So if we see a Zcash gold chart, that thing would probably be absolutely amazing. And again, usually divergence is somewhere down in here. Like that's a divergence there. So the last divergence we had was here. It was strong. It was strong bullish divergence on the 1 hour. It didn't matter. We didn't. Divergence, I will always give you a break, a pump, but you just won't get back above the previous high on that move. Right? Good work, Sam. Made $15,000 in the span of a couple hours. Dang, man, you guys make way more money than me on these calls. But hey, I hope I could help you guys. You guys are risky though. If you made 15 grand, I don't know what you risked. That means you could have lost just as much as you gained. But hey, sell your gold for jelly. I know, it's insane. It's hard to believe how much you have been. Can you show P&L to prove consistent trading wins? Yes, I did like a week ago. And sometimes I don't have consistent trading wins. Sometimes my P&L isn't the best. I'll be honest with you. You got to fight through it. Yeah. It's hard to believe how much you have. Yeah. Thank you for the lifer likes today, fam. You are the best. Yeah. Shout out to Tom Balablon. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Just focus, man. Just focus. Yeah. You're going to lose. If you trade as long as me, you're going to lose. How you handle your losses is the key. Right? Let's take a look at Chainlink and what's happening to Chainlink. Can Chainlink handle this dump? Chainlink back to 15. And everyone knows I hold a boatload of Chainlink too. Is this just the key area where we bounce? Let me reassess this situation here. I mean, getting below the daily 200 moving average, you know, this is our bear market here in March of 2025. Like, we already went through all this. We bought the lows. We were, the $11 to $12 Chainlink, and then we went all the way to 26. Chainlink was up pretty nice. And to me, it started to consolidate. We looked like we were kind of making these bigger consolidations. I was looking for them to just bounce up here, and I'll say we just got to get a bounce, stay above the 200. But we had that nasty collapse. When Bitcoin did that, that was insane what happened. That shuttered the market. And I think it stole so much liquidity. It was hard for us to get the bounce back. People weren't willing to buy anymore. I have to be honest, for the first time in my life, I looked at crypto in a funny way. I was like, man, what are you doing? Like, what is this? Like, this candle changed how I felt about altcoins almost forever. It's kind of crazy. Like, because I was like, if they can do that to my altcoin on any given Sunday, any given Friday, then like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a speculative trader, but I'm not that speculative. I'm not trying to get wrecked every 5 seconds. Like, that's just, and look how unusual it was. Like, it never happened before. We had a couple wicks down, but nothing like that. Nothing. I had never seen anything like that. Right? You know what I mean? Yeah. No, and anyone that looked at the charts, you could see a double top. You could see the head and shoulder. You could see bearishness. I started calling bearishness when the weekly was tweezer topping here, remember? We tweezer topped up on the weekly. Sorry for, but look, that's a double top for Chainlink. It just looks bearish to me. Like, the weekly coming back to the 200 moving average. And if you want to stay bullish, you could say, okay, we're in this uptrend. And even if you're bullish, right? If you're bullish, then to me, fine. Don't you have to consolidate then? So it tells me, like, do I get a $21 Chainlink back in January of 2027? Like, or like maybe it breaks out earlier. I don't know. But it just, what's happening here? If we bounce back strong, we get to back to the all-time high in February. Maybe these are the lows, Super chat, Tix, USDT, and XRP BTC. I just became a lifer. Thank you for jumping on in. We appreciate you. Let's take a look at TICS. And don't listen to anybody else. The doubters will tell you all sorts of nonsense. They'll hate on anything, on any information online. They'll hate. Remember, doubters are people who doubt themselves. So they're going to doubt anything they see and anybody online, and they're going to talk trash. That's just what happens. But if you're with the winner's circle, if you're with people that make the best of everything they know. Wow, Tix is ripping. And this thing is on a tear now. Like, I just don't know what this is. A little bit of a flag here, right? 1 hour's near the 21. I'd look for it to kind of flag out. This thing may continue. It really may continue. So there's still opportunity here. You can shear a sheep for life. You can only skin them once. They skinned half the market on 10 and 10, and now people wondering why price is dumping. Crazy, yeah. 100%. They used to shear us, but not skin us. Yeah. Think about I am the most... Yeah. Oh, yeah, Dash continues to rip. No, we've been talking about it, and I went over to the trading group. Continuing to rip and do damage. It could actually even be in a bull flag here. I will look at it on the 4 hour. It's getting far away from the 21-day moving average. But if it's bullish, it's going to head back to that 21 and then continue to pump. We got alerts. We're watching Dash. Dash has hit my target there at 140. We called 140. Well, how do we know it? We just took the measured move from here to what would have been a pull, and it just absolutely erupted. Dash, baby. So while Bitcoin plays games, privacy coins destroy the market. It's just insane, right? So there's money to be made last night if you're in the right project. So that tells me just to stay focused. And I hooked up my trading group with gains. I gave them Dash last night. I could see Dash was looking nice. I can't call it perfectly, right? It didn't do, I'm not a magician, but I did like that price action. I wanted to go more sideways and get a less risky buy-in. Wow, we're trying to bounce back here for Bitcoin. Back to 102,950. And just sketchy price action today too. Imagine having big money in this and watching price swing around. I put well willing to lose. I chip away one day at a time. As long as I'm here a year from now, I'm going to be okay. Yeah, if it's way too much lower, they would start dumping to zero. We are lower than April lows on many altcoins. There are traders that spent years building positions, up millions of dollars in unrealized gains, and then got completely wiped out in seconds on October 10th. That was the worst day I've ever seen. Yeah, true. Some people were in those positions for a long, long time. I made living in fear, but the fact is that these legacy coins are pumping in another confirmation we might be at a top. Cycles end with their final rotation into old and smaller market cap coins. It's also privacy, though. You're seeing people want privacy. There might be something coming with a digital ID. You know what I mean? That it actually tells me something brewing on a social economic scale. It kind of says, hey, big money is flowing into these privacy coins. Who's hiding their money in privacy coins? For what reasons? Sound the alert. Something's going on, right? Big Brother is looking. So the 4-hour RSI and the daily bouncing off the 50-week MA. We've got some bull div. Like Virtual was cooking, went to the target 191 and then just slumped back down again. Even coins that were hot, right, are not so hot anymore. Look at your dailies. Virtual ain't too bad. If you look at it, it's it's in a higher low. It's got some strong support at 97. But look, it's got bear div right here. Could make another right shoulder, Yeah. Man, I traded some change I had left for some coin I sold. It was like 37. I put it in Dash. Now up 140. Should have put a lot more. It's okay, man. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. It's okay. Billy Bob Schwager. Just be happy that you made more money. 95% of people are losing money every day in these markets. Remember that. If you make $100 today, you're doing better than 95% of people. They're getting their shirts handed to them. All right. Pepe is a massive head and shoulder. Yeah. Someone says the mic's too loud, Lifer. Thank you. Maybe you're right. I have seen that it is a little... I don't know what happened here. Maybe I have a... There you go. That's better off, right? Trying to see. I don't have any gain filter or anything. It's weird. Out of nowhere, it was just like... It did get super loud one day. And I'm like, why is it so loud? You know? You never know, man. Maybe my daughter touched something. I'll reset. Someone says, I'm not getting the digital ID no matter what. They'll force it on you at one point. Nothing happened. They just mess it with you. God bless you, man. Shorted Zcash last night before bed and woke up to a small fortune. That's amazing. That's amazing. I don't know how much you went in on. When people say that, I'm like, well, you know, you could also wake up to a loss of a small. I just no, but God bless you, man. I'm happy that you took advantage of the market. At least somebody's winning. I want to hear the stories of people winning. One of my youngest traders, he made about $2,500 last night shorting the market. So I see people that have joined the trading group that have been around me that got the knowledge. You know, I'm using Beats earbuds and everything sounds fabulous. I like it. I wrote on Jenny 9, but just can't seem to get my wife to get behind Bitcoin. It's all right, man. No offense, Hill. My dad would laugh at you. My dad was the type of guy who would be like, you listen to a woman? That's what my dad would say. My dad made me feel so small if I ever catered to a woman's feelings. Again, I'm a lot nicer than my dad. He was a hard man. He would just be like, he's like women like men that show women that they're men. Yeah, my dad was the epiphany of a man. Like he didn't give a dang. He was like the John Wayne of ironworking, he just didn't care. I would tell you that you, as a man, you got to run the show. When women let themselves run the show, they don't respect the man. They secretly want you to run the show. I don't know why. So you got to flip that. You got to flip that. Can you look at Digibyte? And again, you probably have a beautiful relationship. I don't want to get in between. May God bless you and your wife. Yeah, Digibyte getting this crazy bump to the upside out of nowhere today. It's like, why? Why is Digibyte pumping? It's a bit strange. Like an unknown crap coin, excuse my language, an unknown coin that's hasn't really done a lot from 2017 is cup and handling. It's the Digibyte. Euro USD looks like damn Adam and Eve on the daily. Thanks for your TA and your consistency. Without it, I think I would have gone to one of these nice places. They put a jacket that hugs you and places you in a nice quiet room. I know, man. Me too. Without you guys, I think I would have too. Someone said that crazy drop. Yeah. They're testing retail. I mean, to the point of no return. Like this is, and again, we're about to test that monthly support at a 1025. I told you once you lose that, 96,000 is the next monthly support area. Yeah. You can say, I know, right? We're all cooked. Control is what they want. Will you capitulate or will you fight? I'm going to fight. Litecoin, please. Of all the prophecy coins that's not pumped, is next, no? Yeah, with Mimble Wimble. I see what you're saying there. You might be onto something. Let's take a look at Litecoin. Yeah, it looks like it's just following the Bitcoin dippage. Litecoin looks better than most coins, though, like hanging out with a higher low. Like, see, like Litecoin doesn't look too bad. If it could just kind of hang out. And again, after every dip, things always clear. We always start to pump again, and everyone forgets how dark it was on the dumpy days. And when we pump, everyone gets super happy, and they forget how dump. And then we dump, and we forget how good it was when we were pumping on days like today, right? Humanity fell when Adam listened to Eve. Oh, man. I got more pull in Mexico. I will not be forced to a digital ID. I use pesos. Okay? I lost $20,000 today. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Gotta find the balance between respecting women and using common sense when it comes to roles. Both can be clean and cooked, but you still got to be the one to be assertive. No, 100%. But a woman is looking for you to take control of the situation. She's there to keep you calm so you can take control of the situation. That's how I look at it. But again, I'm more old school. Like I said, the Great Wealth Transfer Project. Protect your shilling. Shout out to Jamal. Digi is being mined by a nuclear... Oh, that's interesting. 102,600 for Bitcoin. Looking like we will go lower to that measured move. That's headed to 99,300. The short is playing out so far here. Patiently, patiently, patiently. There's opportunity in this market. Yeah, when you scalp long to get the win, it's hard to scalp to short. I 100% believe that. I kind of scalp long. But when I see that, I flip it upside down and just do what it tells me. Someone says, what do you think of Arrow? I mean, Arrow backed down to 81. Dang, man. And it was looking good again. Looked like a good head and shoulder. I mean, it's attempting to keep the low. So crazy, though, when you really think about it. I mean, this is supposed to be the premier automated market maker. Like, what? With Coinbase backing, like, how does this not win? It just didn't. If this didn't win, then nothing's going to win. If a Coinbase-backed automated market maker can't win in this cycle, then what can win in this cycle? Like, what is going on here? What is this stretched out alt season? It's something we've never seen. Nobody knows what to do because nobody's ever seen it. All right. Yeah, Mendani wants your unrealized gains. The fun is in it. Oh, of course he does. Stay away from that, man. You know, vote Como all day long, man. And my wife's Muslim. I'm not anti-Muslim at all. You know what I mean? Salam alaikum to all the beautiful people out there. I just, no. And I think Como is not even the greatest either. I don't even want to get into it. I shouldn't even speak. Look, we talked, I went over this on Friday, and I said, man, Bitcoin dominant, Tether dominance looks interesting. I said, that looks like it's going to spike. If that spikes up, I said, that's going to be a dump for Bitcoin. I said, be careful. Things do not look good. I said, this is telling us, look, you could even see me drawing it and circling it. And I said this on the macro. You got to watch my macro analysis video every Friday. Yeah, Ondo taking a beating. You know, I sold it all, man. I want to tell everyone, I sold a lot of my coins. I'm done. I'm telling you the truth. I'm out. I'm not playing this game. I bought more Bitcoin. I sold crap. You know, all the nasty little alts that I'd rather reset my mind and clear it off and start fresh than sit there and look at that every day. I'm done. You know. Yeah. Does Joshua naturally lend to being assertive and aggressive when needed and naturally have more of it? Common sense. They should be protectors and provide security. It's a logical, scientific, it's based off of, it's based off of actual chemical imbalances in the brain, right? Salam alaikum, my friend. I love every human being that loves all people. You can't want to hurt somebody because they don't believe in your religion. That's not religion, right? That's not God's way. God's way is to love all, no matter what. To always be in a high sense of, I did not sell the Chainlink or the Solana. Those I'm still kind of questioning because I'm like, Yeah, I love what you said about the market paying you in cycles and not trying to hold through every pump or dip. Yes. I didn't sell my Cardano either, but I'm thinking about it. Yeah. I didn't panic sell major coins. I just sold things that I know I have way less conviction in. That's all. Exactly. No, I've had ETH for so long. No. The key is God, in my humble opinion, each religion was teaching you to raise your frequency by loving all situations and all people. And by not letting any hate into your heart and you think hate in your heart is good for you. You're like, oh yeah, I'm going to hate on that person. But what you don't realize is any time you hate on anybody, you're lowering your own frequency because right now, look at this. I'm going to teach you one thing about life that's going to blow your mind right now. All right. And this is probably the most important thing I've ever taught anybody on this show. And it's everything to do with trading too as well, because it comes into play with your energy and trading has everything to do with your energy. So check this out. Your brain inside of your mind, this is your brain in your mind. All right. This is you. This is your brain, right? Your brain is an antenna. Right? You have the reticular activation system, right? And you're able to connect to your thoughts, which connect to emotions and ideas, which send vibrations into the universe, which pull back the same vibrations into your life. That's why if you think about pain and problems and issues, you'll pull pain, problems, and issues into your life. If you think about solutions, ideas, and how you're going to win, then somehow you're going to find solutions, ideas, and you're going to win. And again, I talked about it yesterday, you reap. This is the soil. The weeds will grow or the flowers will grow. Whatever you think about is what you're going to be growing. So, if whatever I think about is what I'm growing, and I am a magnet, like the Arc de Triomphe, you see that? It's a giant magnet. You ever seen that? The Arc de Triomphe was a giant magnet. Look at it. Don't you see how it looks just like a magnet? Isn't that interesting? So look, this is a magnet, right? Electromagnetic frequency. You are electromagnetic. Don't think you aren't. So, if I'm sitting here using my magnet and I'm focusing it on hate and lower frequencies and how much I don't like somebody and how, and they suck and I'm better than them and look at that and who are they? What am I going to be growing in the subconscious mind? Where is my life going to be? If I focus on $100 million, creating jobs for over 100 people, right? Can I create a job for 100 people? Can I create commerce around the world that helps the entire world move? Can I add to my country's GDP? As not what my country can do for me, but what I could do for my country? Can I wake up 7 days a week for my GDP, for my country's GDP? I work 7 days a week for my country's GDP. I create a business. I create opportunity. I bust my butt every single day for my country's GDP. You understand? I represent America. It's not just me and my bank account. It's the fact that I'm an American and I'm using the beautiful American commerce capital system to capitalize, to create opportunity around the world. I'm going to travel to Portugal. I'm going to spend money there, which means I'm going to give money to different economies. I was in Singapore. I spent money there. I was in Dubai. I spent money there. I spent my money around the world. My ability to create helped economies everywhere I went. I spread love, light, and happiness through my finances, right? When people get paid, they go home happy, they got a job. When people get a tip that's, a little bigger, they get happy, tip well, right? So if you're spending this reticular activation system on anything but supporting your own, ability to help the world, you're wasting time and energy. Please get the word hate out of your life. It doesn't mean any, stay away from people that aren't pushing you to be your best. Stay away from people that don't believe in you. Stay away from people that are low frequency. Stay away from people that laugh at your ideas and your dreams. And think about it, if the average person isn't not laughing at your dreams, then they're just not big enough, my friends. Jim Rohn said set goals that kind of make you uncomfortable. If they're not going to make you uncomfortable, you're not going to be able to grow to achieve them. Understand? If the goal is so uncomfortable, you're going to have to grow to achieve it. I see tether dominance continuing to the upside. I don't see how we get out of this here. 102,550. Big low down there waiting at 97.5. Bitcoin looks like it's, and then you got the 100,300. When we go to 100,000, all right. Yeah, it's sad. Most religions are getting a bad rap, almost every one of them, right? Someone says no full moon pump. Well, the full moon isn't here yet, all right? Why is Dash pumping? Because nobody had any to dump on them, so they bought it cheap. Put up a thin order book and wait for retail to pile in, and then they offload their bags. Always been this way. It's so funny seeing these people say to buy the dips and buy when there's fear. If they're the same ones who sell once things get tough. I bought more Bitcoin. I didn't sell. I just kind of repositioned my portfolio. That's all. There's a German YouTuber cycling through Afghanistan. People seem really nice. I want to see that. That's interesting. I'd like to watch that with my wife, if you could give me the name of that. Does Bookmap work with Ethereum? It does. Maybe I can come meet with you there. Portugal is closer to me at the moment. Hey, man. You're the man, Sam. Let me borrow 50K. Yeah, sure. It's not over, guys. This price action macro is nothing. If you believe, hodl, spot, and dry powder. Over 11 trillion went straight to gold, just in case you're wondering where the money went into. Crypto got crumbs from the pie that gold ate. I agree with you. Israel both don't teach bad. If people look at it, talks about just ways of living in peace. 100%. 100%, Jamal. I love you, man. Itchy Boots. She's awesome and brave. Wow, she's Itchy Boots, man. I'm going to check her out. The fact that she's cycling through Afghanistan, crazy. So, yeah, I see more downside for Bitcoin. We are now heavily in the short, up 21%. You're in gains right now. You can't complain. Entry was 103.6. We're up dang near 1,000 on the Bitcoin pips. And I see this thing continuing to go down to 97, 99 too, really. All right. Yeah, 3i Atlas will hover over Earth. Our spaceship is coming. So crazy. If you trade only perps, should I use red perps or going glass or just the spot? I use Bookmap, man. Yeah. Max Roving, thank you. Funding rate can predict direction, yes. My dad watches Itchy Boots. That's funny. The only decision is when to buy more BTC. Yeah. You take into account trend lines of the RSI. If so, what about Bitcoin's daily since August? Yeah. Jordy Reserve says Bitcoin is in the IPO moment. All long-term holders selling now. Liquidity is available. Exactly. It makes sense. Distribution. I'm free falling. I know, right? And this thing, we called short since last night. Sold 50% of my alts. Jelly is pumping again. It's crazy, man. There's opportunity out here for the insane. I mean, look, it's going nuts right now. Look, I looked at it right there, the 21, and it went all the way up to 29. Just now, in the last, since I put this out right there, it's just nuts. I could have live traded it in front of you and made 52% in literally, like, since the beginning of the show. It's up 52%. This is insane. Jelly doing the 6X to start November. Remember that guy 30 minutes ago asking why you shorted the bottom? I know, isn't that crazy? Hey, Lifer, why are you shorting the bottom? He said. These people are nuts, bro. I take so much flack all the time for being out here. How low did you call this short? 97.5, 99.5 for now. And there's 102.250, man. They're clearing out this liquidity. I have to come to terms with the facts here and just, be on the right side of history. What the heck is jelly? Exactly. Giggle coming down. It's all coming down. It's a meltdown, folks. Jelly continuing to rip. And it's like, what the? And again, maybe they're just getting ready to short it, suck you in. Solana taking the beat down. But not too bad, 158, okay. It was just 164. Let's take a look at Sol. Sol was holding its own against BTC. But look, it lost the 2-day 200 moving average. See, that's when I start just getting, ugh. And look, that takes, look how long, once you lose the 2-day, you usually have to dump a little bit and then come back a little bit. So we'll hit the plus sign and we'll say, okay, after the dump, both times, is 50 days. And then it was another 30 days to get back to where we were from the dump. Another one there, 80 to 130, 50 days. And another, you know what I mean? Another, that's 120, and another 30 days to get kind of back where we were again. So I don't know. It's struggle in paradise. And I'm the first guy to call those reversals and look for them. It'll be on the 1 minute 200 moving average. We are not doing that, folks. We are rolling over every time. Look, we found the M pattern there. I told you, this is what we would have traded. If the market was bullish, this would have flagged out. The 21 would have come. We would have crossed the 5 minute. I've studied every bullish move that I could on hundreds of assets, thousands of hours of my time. When I tell you something, it's backed by 100 hours of data, not just a moment in time. I'm not just looking at one thing. I have sat here and played with my brain for years to give you the information that I'm giving you. It's not just a quick moment in time. Shout out to Cashmore Crypto Lakochi. Dagger to the heart. Don't predict price. Just keep buying all the way down for long term. Yeah, exactly. I like to buy here. I buy more Bitcoin in these areas. Look, and it's starting to get thinner now. Now they're going to thin out the book. Shred out these longs, man. Get them streamed out. Let's get to 97,550 for Bitcoin. Even on Twitter, I was bearish for you. You know, and someone said, thank you for this. Right? And Sin City was like, thank you for this. And I'm like, look, Bitcoin lost to 1.0. Look, this is what we talked about on November 3rd, right? This is yesterday. I'm saying short that puppy at 108.5 is the entry even, or it was a little lower there. 107.8 was the entry. I mean, you're up $5,000 on that move from 107.8 now. No stop loss got hit. And I don't like being bearish for Bitcoin, but we do what we got to do. There was a chance if we held that 200 moving average, but once we got below that again, you had to commit. Here we are again, right off the bat. Bitcoin Weekly showing a tweezer top. Daily still forming a head and shoulder to drag us lower. 4-hour oversold, but holding a higher low. I'm learning bearish unless Bitcoin can remain above the 200 on the daily. It's the line of the sand, and it couldn't. It ended up closing below it and then collapsing. How low is auto going? I don't know. I'm done. I'm going to buy these coins at cheaper prices or swing trade them when they're strong. Jelly still ripping. And what's crazy, if Bitcoin can find a bottom and then Jelly rips back up, I mean, that thing's going to moon. But it's going to, it's obviously going to short hard too at one point. This is crazy how much it just went up again. It went to 40 cents, everybody, from 20 cents from 9:30 in the morning. Last night, this thing was just 6 cents. Insanity. So many signs show that we're going to dump real hard. Yeah. I just want to say much love, Sam. Immense respect. Been with you for over 5 years, and you are changing my life every day. Thank you. God bless Cherry City Bullies. And you know what? I got to cling to these comments in times like this and know that 5 years from now, I'll still be I'll still be live. No, I'll still be live doing my thing. Jelly is a ticking. Yeah, it is. Yeah. We're losing the daily descending triangle. I actually am surprised alts aren't worse than the off. I agree with you on that. Like, Giggle is up 29% today. Like, it's weird. It's like pockets of people, they just don't, like, could Giggle break out this flag? I mean, it's above the 200 moving average on the 3-minute time frame. Bitcoin struggling at 102,300, looking for more downside for BTC. And thank God I barely got any sleep last night. I tend to perform better on a lack of sleep. Is that weird? My brain does well on no sleep. You think no sleep, I'd be all over the place. But no sleep was good for me today. So I leave you with this short. I actually don't want to leave you. I want to sit with you guys all day today. But I can. I got some obligations today that I need to meet that have already been kind of set up for me. But God bless everybody that supports me in these insane times. Shout out to the 1,547. I can't believe we don't have like 2,000 people here too. Usually dumps like this, we have so many people here on the stream. But if you could have a look at TI, Tix looks amazing. New layer 1. It looks good, man. That chart looked hot. Thank you for giving us that. And I just found out I'll see you in Lisbon at CCC. Amazing. Shout out to all the lifers. That's so cool, man. I'll have my whole team with me again. I have round trips so many times, plenty of times to take profits at the highs. I 100%. Happiness is not by chance, it's by choice. We have to remain happy. Today could be the last day of my life. I hope it's not, but it could be. What if I spent the whole day depressed about Bitcoin and the prices? And I didn't breathe in this fresh air. I didn't realize how good it is to drink orange juice or taste my taste buds or hug my children. I'm going to hug my 3 daughters today for sure, if everything goes well. And that's a blessing, right? And so it's the same. Everyone wants these magical big things. But the magical big things are right in front of us, man. They're our kids, our wives, our families. That's what we have. And in days like today, if you aren't realizing what's important, I don't know what could be. And we're going to make a nice day's pay here. Now we're up $500 at the short. That's how you make $500. Looks like we may be able to make more today. I could do that 10 times a day and make $4,000. Today could be a big day. Stop being depressed. Pay attention to the market. Open your mind. Cut off the losses. I've taken so many losses, my friends. If I let the losses define me, I never would have made it this far. Every winning trader is someone that just lost so much, but eventually they won just enough to cover those losses. I'm telling you right now, man. Trust me, go listen to anybody who's told you who's really traded for a living. Come on now. Most people haven't made it as far as me, so don't listen to them. They're all, you know what I mean? Most people haven't made it 10, 15 years in these markets. They've gotten wrecked at one point. They got jealous or someone, and they made a big trade based on what someone else was doing. Like, I'm going to move that stop loss into position now. I can't lose money in the trade. If they rip it right back up and I round trip it, so be it. I kind of want to just take my 487 and go from there. We're pretty far away from the 21-day moving average on the 1-hour time frame. Still rolling over on the 15-minute, but the stochastics have reset. 5-minute time frame. Rolling over a bit more here. 1 minute showing signs of a possible divergence, getting oversold. And now you got to start thinking of where, what you want to do with your trade, right? Again, I am not a financial advisor. The thing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. Please get yourself your own financial advisor. Do your own due diligence before getting into any project, coin, or trade. Ondo is going down the tubes. Can you break down E? Thank you. Also, Tau has a bearish div of the daily dumped. It did. Could you check USDT dominance? It doesn't look good. It's rising. I just want to say much love and immense respect. Been with you for over 5 years. You are changing my life. Thank you, Cherry City Bullies. You're awesome, man. You always give me awesome stuff. Look at this, 102,057 continuing to take a dump here to the downside. And you think 102 would be a key area. That's that monthly support we're now losing. Oof. I'd start to take some profits here on the short. And we can always short again later on today and another flag. Looks like we're going to 100,000, man. I don't know. This looks ugly. I'm about to take money on the short. Right at the end of the live, pay the trader. And then we'll see. But it looks like it may continue to just completely collapse here. We lose 102. This thing's going to continue to dump. I'm in position to take profits no matter what. As you can see, moving my stop loss into profit, up 30%. This is the way. Woof. Look at that dump. And now we're about to lose 102. We lose 102. 1015 comes. And look good. We have some good news here. Liquidity is starting to dry up down here. 97.5. Remember it was big in red? It's not so big in red no more. So some people have moved their stop losses up into this area. And wow, look at that. 100,004 now is the area we're likely going to tap. Look, we just lost 102,000. We wicked to 101,868. This thing is starting to absolutely just tear it up. And you flip this upside down, it's like riding that stop loss to the upside the same way we do it, right? And again, we always know that comes back. This is an unsustainable dip. It's going to make a flag at that 21 eventually. Let's take this money, folks. Let's ride this short for gains. I'm going to get out right about there. Bang. 101,800 on the sell. And that's how you day trade no matter what's happening in this market. And look, now we're going to wait for our next bull flag. We do this the other way all the time. The 21 will come into price. We can get into our next short to 101.7. Maybe it continues. I always sell a little early. I wouldn't be surprised. And look, it made a beautiful flag. We trade these all the time. It touched the 21 above the 200. Look, that's the model. It's just nuts, right? That's the model on the 1 minute time frame. So you can trade my model, just flip the chart upside down and make money the same way we've been trading on the way to the upside. It doesn't matter. We can trade any way with my strategy. This is beautiful. Look, this is my system right here. We haven't changed a thing. You're on the other side. This is Alice in Wonderland through the looking glass. We're on the other side of the mirror. Understand? And you got to pay the trader. Look, I paid the trader. There could be more. There could be less. But we paid the trader. All right? At 777 too. That's amazing. Palantir bouncing back a little bit. But dang, come on, Palantir. How you going to do me like that? Looking amazing, and then just... Let's take a look at the DXY coming up strong. We went over that. We said the DXY looks like it's going to break out of a flag. I said that's not usually the best for crypto. right? People piling back in the DXY. Did the housing market collapse bottom out? Because, you know, look, that looks like the DXY is going to go on another tear. Also dominance. Wow, we're at 101,900, folks. We really did the dump. We really did call it. We gave you the trade yesterday at 107.7. You're so of the money right now. If you took that short hedge, I made a video for you in the trading group explaining exactly where to put the short, exactly where to put the stop loss. I don't know what else I could do. Thank you for the super chats. You people are absolutely amazing on a day like today, and you're still throwing super chats at the lifer, right? $51 in chat revenue. 1,550 people here on the live. Ondo looking horrible. ETH looks absolute trash. It's following BTC. I was only going to look at ETH on the weekly. I kept saying, only watch ETH on the weekly. It looks bullish to me. And then it even lost that key level. Now you kind of see head, shoulder. I got to say, ETH is likely to come down to 3,000. I mean, right? And then just sit in some chop. You know, ETH never looked amazing to us. Every time we went over ETH, and ETH was supposed to be the leading alt, remember? I started saying, whatever, it's not ETH anymore. But, like, this is like... So even if this is somewhat bullish and you make higher lows, right? I mean, what do you break out in May of 2027? I don't know, man. It's a bit. I don't know what's happening to altcoins, but they seem to have lost their way. You know, this would have been a bear market, come back up, but no, they bounce it back. It doesn't look the same as all the last cycles. 101,900 for Bitcoin. We basically just sold that local top, and it looks like it may continue to dump. I'm looking for the flag again. Whenever you get that distance from the 1 to 21, you know you're kind of extended there. And we dropped on the stochastics. I'll be looking for some type of flag here, but look, that bear flag continued just like we told you it would. The 1 hour still bearish with the rollover. The head and shoulder patterns, it just is what it is. Anyway, I got to jump on out of here for the day. I wish I could sit here with each and every one of you all day long. I love you all. I appreciate you. I thank you so much for being amazing and awesome. I'll be in the chats. I'll be in there. We'll be looking for possible opportunity in the market. If you had no idea what was happening, you got sideswiped, you weren't able to take advantage of this short, you want to learn how to trade both ways, go to cryptolifer.com to find out more. Okay? Get an education you deserve. Stop fumbling it around. I'm going to be here every single day. I will be here. 101,783. They're dumping this thing to the downside, my friends. The collapse is in. A wave of liquidity just washed over Bitcoin. Look at this real fast. Something I got to show you. A wave of liquidity just came in, and they got this big red that just jumped on in. At 100,005, 101. Wow, now it's getting nasty. $112,200 now has some liquidity. You see? Wow. 101,650, absolute collapsing. That thing just looks like it's going to continue down all the way to my target at 99,000. That's the measured move of the bear flag, right? I mean, it's a little less than that. Wow, what a dump. Yeah, I'm looking, again, that looks like it will extend a little bit more. 21 isn't that far now when you really think about it. Like, that could just continue to do its thing. 99,250 looks like the next flag. Stress not, just be happy I made gains. If I do that every couple, if I come home this afternoon and do the same thing, 800 to $1,000 a day. $5,000 a week, let's go, baby. 20 grand a month, $40,000 a year, just chipping away. 101,600. This thing continues to dump, baby. Who made gains on the show today? Who made gains on the show today? XRP BTC real fast. You know, they don't look, you know, the whole market dumps, they dump together. So Bitcoin dumps and XRP dumps. It just doesn't look amazing. Like right now, you're kind of in these flags on the weekly. XRP is attempting to hold, but it looks like a double top. I wouldn't be surprised if they dump together. Or you dump back to the 200 moving average here at least. It doesn't look amazing. It is oversold on the weekly. If you make a higher low, see, here's the deal. If you bounce here, then that's what I'm talking about. For the next 5 to 10 weeks, but it still says you're not out of here until February of 2026. So it says we have like 3 months of just insanity before we ever get any, the money really changes. Wow, 101,400 Bitcoin absolutely collapsing to the downside. I did sell a little early there. This thing was going to continue to pay the trader. Someone says, I just want to say much love, Sam. Immense respect. Been with you for over 5 years. You are changing my life every day. God bless you. Thank you for saying that. Everybody, I love you. I jump out of here for the day. May God bless each and every one of you for being here. This dump is continuing to dump. I see 101,165. Then I see 99,136. I can't stand being the bearer of bears news, but we got to deliver the charts the way they're looking. My level's hitting right now, 101,294. Bitcoin, the bear flag collapses to the downside. The sell-off continues. The sell-off continues, and a sell-off like this takes a long time to recover from. These aren't just the dips we were going there before. We're losing monthly supports, weekly supports, major areas. We're losing the daily 200, going to the daily the 2-day 200 moving average, like I showed you, on our way to the 3-day 200 moving average. Bitcoin just hit the secondary target there. First target was 103. Second target was 101.2. Third target is 99.256. Bitcoin well away from the 21-day moving average. You'd think there would be a flag here at one point. Absolute collapsing here for BTC. Insanity. And I'm happy I sold what I did. I am up on, you know what I mean? I would have lost even more. Insanity. Insanity. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I wish I could live stream with you every single day. Well, I do, but every single moment of the day, but I can't. I have a life outside of the charts. Everyone, I love you. Flag out the 15-minute. Look for it to touch the 21 and go for another bear flag to 99.2. Yeah, that's the next option for us here for BTC. Let's be smart and trade the probabilities and not our emotions. That'll be the way we get out of this alive. I love you all. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the flip side. Remember, the secret to success is getting started. What are you going to start today that's going to change your life? Sign up for my class. Jump on into thecryptolifer.com. Join the Discord. Get the education. Stop getting wrecked and liquidated. Learn how to make money even on the worst day of the week. This is the worst day of the year for Bitcoin, but we made money on the live. We made about $500 in the live stream. I mean, that's insane, right? In a 1 hour period. The stream, I think I opened up the trade maybe in an hour and a half, but that's pretty dang good. I used to work my butt off, take the train, go to work for just $450, or I made $500. I had to give like 10 hours of overtime and stay extra late. So what I just made right there used to take me so long to make. I have to be blessed and thank God for all the opportunities given. Everyone, I love you. Thank you so much. The secret to success is getting started. That's it. You just got to start and then keep pushing. Create habits that create habits. Bullish habits, and push you to the top. Good habits create better habits. Discipline and focus. I show up every single day, no matter how hard it is. Red days, yellow days, green days. I love you all. Stay sharp. Stay amazing. Keep pushing. 101,300 Bitcoin continuing to dump. I see it going down to 100,005 and below. More downside for BTC. We called it for you. God bless you all. Thank you. I'll see you on the next live stream.